Hi guys, today we're going to do the Unit 5 end of unit study guide. So I want to make sure that you're all ready for our test on Monday. So we have our Unit 1, question 1, what is the value of each expression? So we've got 2/3 times -9. So I know my answer is going to be negative because my signs are different and I'm multiplying. So I have 2/3 times 9/1. So I've got 18 and it's going to be negative over 3. So that gives me a -6. All right, for the next one, I know that I'm going to, let me change colors. So I know that -12 times -2 is going to give me a +24. And I'm going to multiply that by 1/4. So I'm going to end up with 24/4, which gives me a +6. And switch colors again. And I'm going to do keep, change, change. So I have -25 plus 19. When my signs are different, I'm going to subtract. So I get 6. I'm going to take the sign of the larger absolute value, which is negative. Oopsie. And then for my last one, I'm going to change my colors again. And you do the first part first. So I'm going to keep, change, change. So 12 plus -20. So I get -8 plus 14. And I get +6. All right, so I've found the value for each expression. All right, for each situation, will it be positive or negative? So it says M is greater than 0, N is less than 0, and O is less than 0. So I'm just going to assign a value just to make it easier for me. So when I'm trying to work these out, it makes more sense. Because whenever they give me a variable, I like to have a value. So I'm going to give it a 1, well, let's just change it up just to make it easier. A 1, a 2, and a 3. So since it's less than 0, it's going to have to be -3 and -2. So M times N. So 1 times -2 is going to give me a negative response because it's going to be -2. N times O, so that would be -2 times -3. So that would be +6. So that would be a positive result. M squared, so that would be 1 times 1, which would be a positive result. O squared, so that would be -3 times -3. Well, that would be 9, which would be a positive result. 6 times 1 times -3. Well, that's going to be 6 times -3, which is going to be -18. So it's going to be a negative result. So giving them all values is going to make it easier for me to decide whether it should be negative or positive. A store sells apples and oranges. The apples cost $2 per pound. The oranges cost $3 per pound. Jenny purchased 3 1/3 pounds of apples and 4 1/2 pounds of oranges. So I know that I have 3 1/3. So that's 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10, so I have 10/3 times $2, so 2/1. So I have 20/3, so I have to do that in money. So 3 goes into 20 6 times with 2/3 left over, so that would be 67 cents, and that's the apples. So then I'm going to do the oranges. So 4 1/2, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So 9/2 times $3 per pound, so 3/1. So I get 27/2. So 2 goes into 2 1 time, 2 goes into 7 3 times with 50 cents left over. So then I'm going to add it together. So I've got 7, 11, so $20.17. And I want you to remember you have to write it as dollars and cents. So if I ended up with 20.5, I would have to write $20.50 to make it money. If I got $20, I would have to put it 20 like that. Okay, so it's dollars and cents. The Earth's atmosphere consists of distinct layers. The troposphere starts at the Earth's surface and extends upward 6 to 20 kilometers. In this layer, the temperature decreases with increasing altitude, from approximately 19 degrees Celsius at the Earth's surface to negative 48 degrees Celsius at the boundary of the next layer. By how many degrees Celsius does the temperature change in the troposphere? All right, so I'm going to go 19 minus negative 48. So I want to find the difference between the two. So I'm going to keep, change. So I've got 19 plus 48. So I have 67 degrees. Number 5, 12 divided by negative 1/3. Well, I know right off the bat my answer is going to be negative. So 12 over 1 times 3 over 1. So I get negative 36. All right, what is the sum? Sum tells me to add. So when the signs are the same, I'm going to add, and I get negative 17. The boiling point for chlorine gas is negative 24. The boiling point for nitrogen gas is about 8 times the boiling point for chlorine gas. What is the approximate boiling point? So negative 24 times 8 is going to be 32, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I get negative 192 degrees. All right, so they want us to find the value. So I want to remind you that you're going to do the first part first. So this is keep, change. So negative 4 plus 8. So that's going to give me a positive 4 plus negative 9. My signs are different, so I'm going to subtract, and I get negative 5. All right, so remember, order of operations, when you have subtraction and addition in the same problem, you work left to right. All right, a submarine is 370 feet below sea level, so that means it's negative 370. It then descends 960 feet, so minus 960, before rising 25 feet and leveling out. So leveling out just means it stops. At what depth is a submarine when it levels out? So I'm going to keep, change. So I've got... my signs are the same, so I'm going to add. So 370 plus 960. So negative 1330 plus 25. So my signs are different, so I have to subtract, and I'm going to get negative 1305. And that's going to be feet. So it's going to be 1,305 feet below sea level. So this is going to be a technology enhanced question. So it says, what unit rate is described by each representation? So unit rate means the amount for 1. So Caden rode 6 miles in 2 hours. So 6 divided by 2 is 3 over 1. So the unit rate is 3. If I want to find for 1, I'm going to divide by 3. Divide by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. The unit rate is already here because it shows up in the equation, so it's 3. For this one, we always do y divided by x. So 1 divided by 3. So the unit rate would be 1/3. Which tables and graphs do not show a proportional relationship? So I'm going to start with the graphs first. To be proportional, that means you start at the origin and you go in a straight line. So this is not proportional and this one is not proportional. For a table, you need to have the same rate all the way down the table. So 5 divided by 10 is 1/2. 7 divided by 14 is 1/2. 9 divided by 18 is 1/2. So that one is proportional. 4 divided by 3 would be 1.3 repeating. 6 divided by 4 would be 1.5. So this one is not proportional. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 30 divided by 10 is 3. 45 divided by 15 is 3. So that one would be proportional. So the 3 crossed out are proportional. The 3 circled are not proportional. The circular bottom of a water tank has a 5-foot radius. What is the approximate circumference of the bottom of the water tank? So my formula is C equals pi times diameter. So C equals 3.14. And if I draw a picture and I know my radius is 5, the diameter is going to be 10. So C equals 31.4, and that would be feet. All right, for this one, I want to remind you this came from Unit 1. You have your big and your small. Okay, so I have on my big triangle, I have 14 because 6 plus 8 is 14. And on my small, I have 6. The other number I have is 18, and that's on my small triangle. So I'm going to divide by 6. So 14 divided by 6. So it's going to be 2.3 repeating. So that means I have, 7/3? So I'm going to do 7/3 times 18 over 1. So I reduced it by 3 before I multiplied just to save me some multiplication. And 7 times 6 is 42. So 42 would be my answer. If you wanted to do 7 times 18 and then divide it by 3, you could, and you would get 42 as well. All right. What is the solution to the equation 8x equals -2? Well, if I divide by 8 on each side, x equals -2/8, or x equals -1/4. Okay, what is the value of this equation? So we're going to subtract 7 on each side. So -x equals -2. Well, I don't want a negative x, I want a positive x. So I'm going to divide by a negative on each side. So x equals +2. And if we check that, it's going to work. So a -2 plus 7 equals 5. That checks out. It's true. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.